Let's talk. We need to talk. So I decided that rather than doing a hyper edited using AI to be me, that I would be raw and be real and just talk. I've been thinking a lot about who I am and what I want out of life and where I am spiritually and professionally and how I am as a dad and how I am as um, a member of this planet. And one of the things that I have come to accept is that I'm not perfect and that I never will be, and I don't have all the answers, and I can't. Um, I am a problem solver. I feel like my destiny is to help people connect with theirs. I'm a teacher, maybe not professionally, but like a coach. I'm a friend. I'm a father, and I'm a husband. I'm a pet owner. I'm a son-in-law, a grandson. These are all labels, but like I wanted to start thinking about and talking about why I am the way I am and what I've been through that's made me into what I am. And nobody really needs to hear my life story. If you want to, I'm sure I've got it somewhere on the channel. But what I will say is this. I've learned that the biggest obstacle is fear. Fear of missing out, FOMO, fear of the unknown, fear of things we can't control. These are all huge obstacles in life, and they're the thing that keep us from what we want the most. Those who are relentless and aren't afraid of fear and realize that only through struggle, only through pain, only through failure can we grow, those are the ones who are successful. Those are the ones who go on to make a fortune doing what they love. Um, and that's a core thing. Those who can take accountability, those who aren't afraid of publicly failing, of messing up, of making bad decisions, just so they can learn. Some people love failing. There are comedians out there, John Oliver is one of them, who love to bomb because when they bomb, they learn and they grow and they take those risks. And the risk takers are the ones who aren't stagnant. They're not stuck. They don't wake up one day and realize I'm miserable. I hate my life. I hate my job. And it's scary when you don't know what to do. It's scary when you don't know what's coming next. But I like to think of it like this. Say the thing that you want. Say your happiness is within your sight. Maybe not within your reach just yet, but it's within your sight. Imagine it right across a river. And the river is pretty far depth, or pretty far along, and you know how to swim. And the problem is you can't see the bottom of the river. You know that it's a big river, but you don't know how deep it is, and you don't know how strong the current is. So you're looking at the thing you want most in life, and it's right across the river, and then you turn around and look behind you, and you realize there's safety and security where you are. You don't have to get wet. You don't know how cold the water is. Again, you don't know how deep it is. You don't have to get wet. You could stay right where you are and probably be content if you can accept that, if that's what you want. But if you want more from life, the thing that you need is across that river. And that river is fear. And what you may not realize, that first step into the river, it could be an immediate drop-off by 10 feet. It could be an inch. So say you step into the river. To take that first step, you challenge that fear. You accept that, hey, I don't know this, but I want to know. I want to take that step and see what it's like. And you realize that first step in the water is only an inch. And then you step again and it's only 2 inches. And you realize that by facing that thing that you feared, it's not as hard as you thought. Now, make no mistake, the whole river isn't an inch deep, right? You keep walking and it gets a little deeper, and that gets really scary because you lose control. You lose sight of the thing that you knew. You knew that was an inch, but you also know you can't go back at this point. You're already wet, so why would you go back, right? You've already learned, I can do this. I just have to be willing to take that next step, right? So you take the next step and the next one, and at some point you find that you are up to your neck and you are almost panicked because you're trying so hard to get across this river and you feel like nothing is working out. You don't know if the next step's going to put your head under. But what you do know is that if you turn around, you could get stuck in the mud. You could end up stuck. And then you're stuck, but you're also scared of what could be. So you take that risk, and you step again, and you step again, and you swim a little bit. Sometimes you're barely holding your head up. But eventually the water starts going down. The fear starts going down. You start overcoming that fear. And you start making it to the other side. And then you realize, when you look back, that everything you just went through made you stronger. And all you had to do was tackle the unknown, tackle that fear. But that's how you get what you want. And you're better off because of it. And you can't go back. That's the crazy thing. Time, I always say that time is finite. It's the most valuable and finite resource we have. But the reality is, once you invest your time in something, you can't get it back either way. So you got to pick your hard. It's hard living easy and living a normal life, but not having the things you want. It's really hard to get those things you want. And the difference between those who have what you want and you is that they didn't take those extra steps. Now, I know these all sound cliche and trite or whatever, but as a 42-year-old who has lived through not just a pandemic, but also a tornado and 2 derechos, and a kid who had to have life-saving surgery before he was a year old, and a child who almost ended her life, I've survived a lot of shit. And do I want to go through it again? No, not really. But fortunately, because I learned and because I grew from these things, I don't have to. It's not about taking the big step. It's not about even seeing the whole picture. You don't have to see the whole picture. You just have to take that next step. And that's what I wanted to talk about. That's why I wanted to grab the camera, throw it on completely unedited, and encourage you. I'll let you look it up, but there is a Polish saying, and it's Jakos Debedzi. And I think you should look it up. But basically, things will work out in the end. You just have to believe, and you have to be willing to take the risk. So, until next time, dig deep, my friends.